Hello and welcome to VATS CAST, where we discuss all things Fallout, Bethesda, and who knows what else, because we are some chatty bitches. I'm Timmy T1000, and today I'm joined by my two lovely co-hosts, GrannyVats and Old Man Fallout. So, how you been, Granny?
Oh, well, every day above ground is another day.
I see you made it. I see you got your Lovecraftian presents. You're out of the dungeon.
I do. Yes. Yes, I got out. Thank you. I was rescued.
You found the ladder.
I did. Yeah.
And how have you been, Old Man Fallout?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here, but I do want to say for anybody watching, if I look tired, it's because I'm getting over strep throat. So I'm going to try and be as positive as I can today, but bear with me. I'm doing my best.
I was going to say that you've been burning the wick at both ends in 2077, but
no.
Well, I actually stuck my finger in the light socket, and so my hair just kind of frizzed out. So don't pay me no attention.
Good.
Oh man,
I'm always doing something that's just
you know, it's a fashion choice.
It is a fashion choice. But so we have quite the docket this week, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot.
First thing is the season 2 trailer for the second season, or I'm sorry, the season 2 trailer for the Fallout TV show came out. That one was interesting.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
I loved it. The ghouls, the kings are now ghouls. That was interesting.
I hope the king made it out okay. I love the king.
Yeah.
The Kings were actually my favorite faction in New Vegas.
It was kind of interesting to see the Kings dancing around as ghouls.
Well, that was the ghoul. You know how the feral twitch just kind of looked like the
like they were dancing, but
like
still,
they were Elvis.
Funny.
Yeah.
You know, there was a Reddit post I saw about it, and somebody said it's very clear based on the trailer that they've picked an ending from Fallout New Vegas, and the ending they picked is that House won.
The house always wins.
And what's really interesting is that kind of goes along with the story for New Vegas in the sense of, you know, if the Kings are ghouls, I mean, House and the Kings, that was not a friendly, you know, situation with them. So it kind of further like establishes the idea that seeing the Kings as ghouls kind of further establishes the idea that House definitely is the ending that they're going with.
Yeah, maybe they're going to tie House into more of that like Vault-Tec cabal that they had the meeting at the end of the first season.
Yeah,
they did show House on the computer screen.
Yeah, animated even.
This ought to be interesting. And then the Death Claw, we definitely going to get the Death Claw now.
Yep, I mean they showed that one Death Claw that had all the it looked like they were pulling a little tiny bit from 76 because they showed one Death Claw, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but it seemed like it had a little bit of the disease on it. It was like a diseased Death Claw with like some like fans on its back.
They kind of looked like one of the velociraptors from Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
I was kind of like.
Well, they also showed the Rad Scorpion.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
I don't remember seeing that. I'm gonna have to go back and look at it a third time.
Trailer. Yeah.
There's two trailers now too. They released the second one after we.
I think it's the second trailer.
Yeah, I'll have to dig out the second trailer, but I've got the first one linked for the show notes, but I'll get the second one.
It's really good.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I think it comes out in 2 weeks
from when this VATS CAST launches, something like that. Yep.
Yeah, it'll be about 2 weeks. I mean, I really liked season 1. I know a lot of people poo-pooed on it, but I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to. And they're doing more than 8 episodes this time too, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they'll probably do as they've done other shows and give us 1 episode a week.
They're releasing them
in batches, right?
Yeah, they're releasing them in batches. Yeah. So the first 3 episodes, I think, come out, and then there's a couple of weeks, and then they release the next 3 episodes, I think is how they're doing it.
It's still, make you wait, make you wait. I like the first
Yeah.
season where they just said, "Here they are," and I'd be
Yep.
like, "Okay, I'll
You
sit
could
down and
binge them.
binge watch them."
Binge the whole thing. Oh yeah, I do too. Well, the
Yeah.
funny
I
thing
don't like
is
to sit and wait.
well, anybody who got the early access, they got to go to the press screening. They got to see the first 2 episodes, and then they had to sign an NDA.
Mhm.
So they've had to wait since like mid-October to now
Mhm.
to see
I
the
don't
3rd
think I would
episode.
have liked that.
Yeah.
So they've had to wait even longer than we have,
Yeah, yeah.
we'll see them all at the same time, like the first 3, I think, but
Yeah.
then they only got to see 2 out of 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, so I don't ever want to see a premiere because, I don't want to have to wait that long.
Yeah, to be able to discuss about it. So, but yeah, I don't know. I'm super excited. I like the story. I want to see, like Lucy's transformation. I like to see the ghoul get his humanity a little more back as
Mhm.
like you kind of
It
saw
looks
it as
like he does in the trailer, actually, when him and Lucy have their little interaction. It looks
Yeah.
like he's actually starting to get it back.
Well,
Yeah.
and you can see it in the first season, even like as the season progresses, he kind of softens a little bit just from being around Lucy a little more, But,
Right.
and for God's sakes, I hope I mean, I know they won't, but I really hope that the NCR just sticks it to the Brotherhood somehow. Honestly, I would even take the Enclave doing it. I just hate
Well,
the
they showed all those airships there and a battle.
Yeah,
So
there's
there
this
is
going to
going to
be
be, but I'm thinking it's going to be like the Brotherhood chapters fighting each other.
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be some kind of civil war, maybe with
The
maybe
different factions of the Brotherhood.
yeah, or maybe
West Coast,
Maxon
East
shows up
Coast.
and decides to take back from whatever, like, what was the name of the
You're
bald
gonna
headed guy
ask
with the
that.
robes?
I knew he was gonna ask that, and I forgot.
I don't
what
have any idea what his name was.
Elder Cleric Quintus is the guy's name.
Quintus, yes.
I really don't like. I mean, I honestly I haven't been a fan of the Brotherhood since the first game. Like
Mhm.
they literally,
I don't like their philosophy.
like, they're just. I mean, don't get me wrong, they get cool tech, but like I would
Yeah.
rather. I'd rather side with the Enclave because at least they're like not holier than thou. They're just like outright like evil. Like,
Okay, you see my eyebrows going, huh?
like no.
No,
Like
not
I'm not
me.
saying the like. I guess with the Brotherhood, what I don't like is how like self-righteous they are.
Mhm.
The
You know what I
Enclave,
mean?
the Enclave
Yeah.
isn't much better.
Oh no, the Enclave's horrible, but they're just like out on Front Street about being horrible.
Especially when they want to experiment on everybody with FEV. It's like, come on.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I just don't get the whole like I don't the Brotherhood fandom, like how like they're just.
I mean,
They just got cool tech.
They are, but they do get the cool tech. I got to tell you guys, when I've done 18 characters in Fallout 4, and I'm live streaming my 18th character now, Cherry. But I did, I think, 10 characters and never tried the Brotherhood of Steel storyline in Fallout 4 because I just don't like Reese. He's an obnoxious person, and I don't like being around him. So I've never done Brotherhood of Steel through 10 characters. And then I finally, with my 11th character, I decided, well, I want to do something new. I've done everything in Fallout 4. I'll try something new. So I did Brotherhood of Steel playthrough. And I got to tell you, I was giddy like a little kid when you get the gigantic robot whose name I've forgotten. You get the gigantic robot.
Liberty Prime.
Liberty Prime, thank you. You get Liberty Prime to go with you toward the Institute, and then he laser blasts holes in the place, and just watch this massive robot taking this building down. I was laughing. I was like, this is a way you can do this quest? Like, this is possible? Yeah. I thought the Brotherhood of Steel was very cool in that moment. I still don't like them, but wow, they were cool.
Have you tried Project Valkyrie?
Oh yeah, getting the 3 Liberty Primes.
Okay. what you need to do sometime is do Project Valkyrie and Outcasts and Remnants with it and do a Brotherhood playthrough because you get the opportunity to kill Reese.
Yeah, I heard that. And you might have been the one that told me this, but I think somebody also told me that you get Liberty Prime as a companion.
Yes, you can run around the entire Commonwealth killing raiders and all the bad people and the super everything with Liberty Prime.
Goodness.
Now, just to move on a little bit. So
can we move on after that one? That's the question.
You posted a link for the Fallout fan celebration. The one particular of note that you were wanting to discuss was the Fallout fan celebration in Goodsprings, Nevada, that took place on November
14th and 15th.
Number 14th and 15th. Yes. Good Lord.
You got it.
Cannot get that out today.
But yeah, that was the one that was in Goodsprings. It was huge. It was really exciting. They had, in previous years, they would have hundreds of visitors. This time around, they had thousands. In fact, there were some Reddit posts kind of poo-pooing it and saying like, this is just, it's too big and commercial now. But I mean, you have all the people who are now attracted from the TV show who want to participate. And it made for really good like photo shoots in terms of like I used to love going to Comic-Con just to see all the cosplay, and when you go to Fallout fan celebration in Goodsprings, you are going to get tons and tons of cosplay. Like the whole Legion showed up. I don't mean 5 dudes in armor showed up.
No, like 1,000,
like
100 people.
Yeah, I saw some pictures from it.
Yeah.
It was wild. People just showed up in like tons of cosplay, multiple days, doing all sorts of themed events. Walton Goggins was there with the director, Christopher Nolan's brother, whose name I can't remember, but they were there. They announced season 3 is already greenlit. They're already working on it. So I just think it was awesome. And I really,
I'm super excited. In fact, me and Granny were just discussing, maybe checking out there's a West Virginia celebration in Flatwoods in May next year that we might head to. So keep posted for that one. We might have a meetup.
Yeah, we might have a meetup down there.
VATS CAST meetup, and and that would be fun.
Ow,
that's really cool.
So and what I like about it is that it's fun watching people just celebrating shit. Like there's so much, like, I don't know. It's so easy to poo-poo on shit. Like, who cares if it's commercial? Are people having fun?
Yeah, you got a choice whether or not you buy something or not,
Yeah, I mean, like, if people are having a good time and it ain't harming you, why even bother? Who cares?
Exactly.
I mean, yes, I remember Comic-Cons and conventions back in the late 80s and early 90s where like there'd only be like a couple hundred people or a couple thousand people at, versus now where like going to Gen Con is in Indianapolis. Is
probably
like
10,000 people there.
No, try like a couple 100,000 minimum.
Oh,
that thing it's huge. Yeah. You can't even really go there anymore. Like, it's so big.
Well, the thing about cosplay is a lot of adults like it because it's kind of like an extra Halloween, a chance to be something that you're not, and to show off what you can do.
I mean, the creativity in some of this stuff is really impressive. I mean, every now and then you see somebody who just bought some blue pajamas and they're, look at me, I'm a vault dweller. But then you get people who like care hard, they're hand sewing it, and they've got the fabric that perfectly replicates that kind of like gridded fabric that they do in the show, and like it's just like
full suits of T60 armor.
Yep, full suits.
I actually had a friend that did a little cosplay, and he did a Star Trek Next Generation, and he went as a female Klingon, and he got to meet Michael Dorn.
Wow.
And he's got a picture of him meeting Michael Dorn. His costume was great.
Oh,
it's amazing.
Michael Dorn was signing his autograph, and he found out that my friend was not a female. And the look on Michael Dorn's face was priceless. We thought he was dealing with a female Klingon, and yeah.
When I don't remember it now, but I was at a gaming convention, and we'll just say I had a little. It was before I stopped drinking, and I had not a little too much, but like a way too much. And there were these 3 people dressed up as Klingons for like the Star Trek board game. And I'm like trying to pick a fight. My intoxicated ass is trying to pick a fight with them, yelling at them in Klingon. I used to know Klingon. Like screaming insults at them, like just like my friends had to like drag me off. I didn't even know, like they told me about it the next day. I was like, I didn't even realize I could talk that much in Klingon.
Yeah, well, you probably saw them as usurpers because they couldn't speak Klingon, but they were dressed as Klingon.
Yeah, when I'm a big Trek fan, and when I was a kid, I used to have a Klingon dictionary that basically I memorized.
Wild.
Well,
well, Timmy's a geek.
I'm a geek, and I have really bad OCD. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Trust me, if you ever want to learn how to farm for resources in 76, I've got a way to do it, and it's involved.
Yeah, I've got OCD because behind me there used to be a pile of dishes, and then I got a camera and I went, I can see my dishes.
Yeah.
That definitely sounds like OCD.
Yeah.
I do. I have OCD pretty bad.
So yeah, the Fallout Day, I'm glad to see people celebrating like that. And I'm glad that the Goodsprings celebration is getting bigger, because there's been people, like I've seen videos of it in previous years, and they've really worked hard to like kind of expand it and foster it.
People and
Well, they did the viewing of the first episode of the first season at a celebration that they did. So
yeah.
All right, y'all want to move on to the next topic?
Hit the next one.
All right. Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition.
Woo.
Okay. So, for those of you who are unfamiliar, I'm
that
sure,
was a terrible face.
I'm sure most people aren't living under rocks, but with the 7th anniversary of Fallout 4, they released an anniversary edition. It was released on November 11th, 13th,
something like that.
Yeah, within those couple of days. And we'll just say that the anniversary edition was contentious at best. I think Granny might have a few thoughts on this topic. Would you care to elaborate?
Oh my goodness.
Okay, you wanna use your words?
Okay, I'll say it's not good. Okay, it's a waste of people's money. They should have never bought it. They broke the game again. They didn't fix the crap they should have fixed. I think people really should stop and take notice of this and start playing some of the older games and let these game companies know that we're tired of their bullshit.
Okay.
And I will start playing older games because I'm not buying nothing new till they show me they can actually make it work.
Fair. Yeah. I mean, that's not unreasonable.
It's my money. And I won't spend it. Not for them.
That's the only thing you got to vote with, right? Or your dollars.
That's it. And you people out there, you need to vote with them dollars. Start playing older games. Dishonored has a great series. Bethesda was involved in it, but yet they actually made games back then.
Yeah.
It's a good, solid game. Not glitchy, and you don't have all that crap. These game companies need to know we're serious about our dollars.
We are.
Well, so for anybody who's not clear on what happened, I'm going to give you guys the fast version of the timeline. They released the anniversary edition, I think, on November 10th. And immediately borked everything. And so people who had been safely and calmly playing Fallout 4 previously suddenly lost access to their mods. Their mod lists disappeared, among other things. Things locked up. They then said they were going to do a bug fix, like a hot fix, quick patches, literally a week later. And they did. And then they also said they would come out with another patch on November 25th or so, and then another patch on December 15th or so. And so we're now past the November patches. They've done all those November patches. But what's really wild is even the November patch that came out on the 24th or 25th, which was supposed to be, that was after they'd already hotfixed some of their mistakes. Then there was the patch that was supposed to make it even better. That broke things again. So then they had to hotfix the patch that came after the hotfixes that came after the patch.
They had a hotfix their hotfix.
Yes. So they've just severely broken the game repeatedly over and over again. And, you know, one of the things that I've seen a number of people asking is just, is it just that they don't have competent people anymore? Or is it just that they don't care anymore? Whatever it is,
they don't care.
Yeah. Whatever it is, the big issue is if they don't care because it's an older game and they're just like, it's not Fallout 76, we're not going to put any effort into it. The problem is it's tarnishing their reputation across the board. Like this, like repeated failures over and over and over again in the course of just weeks, just this stumble and stand up and stumble and stand up and stumble. It's hurting their reputation bad. And I just don't, I'm not sure they should have done any of this. If it was going to go this badly, they maybe should have just kept hands off.
They wanted to capitalize on the fact that they came out with a show and they drew a lot more interest into the game. And they like, oh, gee, we did an anniversary edition for Skyrim. Let's do it for Fallout. All right, what I am seeing is the fact that even Fallout London players, their games are broke.
The GOG ones?
Broke. Yes. Well, not the GOG. GOG does not update, but the Steam, it updated on them, and it has repeatedly broke their games over this month.
You know what? This actually brings up a really good point. A really good thing that I would like to interject. So people who are kind of tired of these shenanigans, as much as I like Valve, GOD does not like their game. They have the Game of the Year edition. It is completely, not only do you get the full game, but you get a offline download install key that allows you to completely play the game offline and you own the file. So the GOG version of the game, you can actually download all of the install files for Fallout 4, keep them offline, and never talk to the internet again.
Yeah.
And it is yours.
Yeah.
And they can never take that away from you.
And it also does not automatic update.
Does not automatic update. It's from before the next gen patch, which was 18 months ago, and it's from before the anniversary edition from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It just skips out on all this patching mess that Bethesda's been doing.
But you also,
I actually own both copies. I own a Steam copy for my mod for when I want to mod with Vortex,
and I do as well.
The GOG.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to point out with the GOG version is that you can completely prevent any of this type of stuff from happening because they don't require you can get a version of the game that does not require online authentication is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not sure, but it was $10 just recently on GOG.
Yeah. I mean, even the normal price at this point is $15.
And it's well worth it.
You know, but when I'm saying, you know, I just wanted to highlight that, like, you can avoid, there is an avenue to avoid all of this stuff, and it's to use something other than Steam.
Yeah.
Because a lot of this,
I will say I did a thing, which we may have talked about on previous editions of VATS Cast, or maybe we haven't, I don't remember. I did do a thing. I have the Steam version, and I'm running the version from before the next gen update, before anniversary update.
Yeah.
And what I did is I made it's called the app manifest file. and it's what Steam uses to track the updates to the games that you have.
Right.
Or to read only?
I set it to read only.
Yep.
And the moment that Steam sees that your app manifest file is read only, it goes hands off because it's like, well, then we can't track updates. So we're just not going to update. And then I say, thank you, don't update.
Yeah, there you go.
I skipped
that
out
is
on
a
all the
fix.
updates.
So there are ways to get not to get around, but to kind of, there are more proactive steps you can take to keep your game from constantly getting bored.
Yeah.
Like somebody like me, like actually, so I bought the anniversary edition, even though I already have the game a year. And
I never will.
Well, actually, let me step back. I did not buy the anniversary edition. I bought the creation bundle upgrade,
right,
which converts my game of the year into anniversary edition. So
that was only $20. It gives you all the creations, the 150 creations, right?
Yeah. So for $20, it's actually not a bad deal if you were interested in those creations before, because you're getting what cost a lot more money for a lot less. In that regard, especially for some who's not hugely into mods and like using Nexus and Vortex, that's not a bad, like that's a lot of like additional skins and content that actually cost me hundreds of dollars a year ago that I got now for $20 basically. So in that regard, if you were looking at buying creations before and you held off because of the price, this is a good way to get up most of the good ones and a bunch of skins for a very inexpensive price.
I would caution PlayStation people though; they don't get that stuff.
Yeah, a lot of the skins that they released though were previously given free over the years, and I have a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, but the more high-end, basically the $20 is, I'm not saying paying for the skins because they did give out a lot of them for free over the years, but like the Noir Penthouse, the like some of the bigger, the extra cool dungeon mods, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Was included. And, in fact, and there's actually some unreleased content that's actually pretty kind of cool.
Yeah, they only had 5 unreleased.
I liked the Sea Scavengers quest. I watched a walkthrough of that. That was one of the 2 things that got me started replaying Fallout 4 is I want to do the Sea Scavengers creation. That looks a lot of fun. As well as there's one called Quest of the Beast Hunter. Let me scroll down. It's called Tales of the Beast Hunter. So I was kind of excited about that. But 2 things that are notable in the creation bundle that people who don't do a lot of mods that might be interested in knowing about are part of that creation bundle gives you access to water towers, which are non-powered water generators. That the small one is 10, the large one does 20, and it's just concrete and steel, which is kind of cool. And then it also includes the settlement ambush kit, which gives you snappable metal and junk fences as well, which is something that should have been included in the game to begin with, but getting access to it, like I'm not trying to argue with what should have been. I'm just trying to highlight like some useful items that are now present that weren't there before.
I would point out, though, that in a previous edition of VATS Cast, we did go over a mod called CVC Dead Wasteland, which has the water towers in it for free. It's not a creation. It's not a creation that charges you money. It's a freebie.
Yeah.
It gives you tons of extra build items, including water towers.
It does.
And there's also a another free mod that you can get for the second thing you were talking about, which I've already forgotten what the second thing was you were saying.
Sampleable fences.
The snappable fences. Thank you. There is a mod that is also free that gives you snappable junk fences.
Yeah, so, I actually have the mod for fences.
We'll link those mods in the show notes just so that way people have access to them. So that way, I'll try to remind you to get those for me for those 2 mods, just that way we can have them. But I thought that like as somebody who doesn't like, I don't like messing around. Like, even though I am technically inclined, I don't like.
you're on the other end. You don't like to mod. You just like to play your game, and you like extra content. For that, Creation Kit is perfect for people like that.
Yeah.
For people like me and Old Man Fallout, not so much, because we
No.
actually just like to mod our games and
Yeah, which is fine.
exactly.
I mean, yeah, I like playing through all the stories and the extra dungeons, but I have very consistently had problems where like I'll start a playthrough with like with a huge Nexus loadout, and then something gets borked three quarters of the way through, and then I have to scratch the whole playthrough, and I'm like,
yeah, you just have to be careful that your mods don't conflict.
Yeah, and while I am technically savvy enough I help you when it happens.
You are technically, you could do it. I don't know. Yeah, you just don't like to do it.
Effort. That's all. I want one click and be done.
Well, you have a full-time job too.
Well, I do, but it's still. But that's one of the reasons. Okay, well, the next topic we were going to talk about was the PS5 Fallout 4 mod news about the asset packs. I had the Reddit post linked and I read through it, but it has since been removed by moderators of
obviously
that subreddit. So
I don't remember what that was about.
Okay,
I don't even know.
I remember there was a big issue with the PlayStation, which is they're not getting all the creations that the rest of us are getting.
Yes,
but other than that, I don't know.
So the PlayStation Network has a thing where you can't inject new assets and meshes into a game that doesn't already exist in an install. So somebody found a workaround where if they create a game that is literally just a mesh pack or use meshes from other games and then inject them into a mod, like have a mod pull those files and inject them into whatever game it is, you can do things like get modern firearms, get new NPCs. They kind of
remember this. Somebody didn't want people knowing about how to do it.
Well, yeah. So basically what you would do is somebody created a free game that you could download off the PlayStation Network, essentially. And that was just a bunch of assets, like guns, faces, clothing, stuff like that. And then people were using those to create mod packs for Fallout 4 on the PlayStation.
You want to know something funny? And this is true, guys. I believe some of these larger companies like PlayStation, they saw that post and they didn't want people knowing. And this happens all the time when they find something like that. They've got people that are watching. And when somebody posts something like that, when they find it, boom, they have it removed.
Yeah,
I've seen it happen over and over again where people have found this or that about a company and boom,
found workarounds, for things.
It's gone.
Yeah.
So I think that workaround is very clever. The idea that PlayStation says you can't expand the disk space for Fallout on PlayStation. We don't want you putting extra items on the disc for Fallout 4. So all these creations are not showing up. But then somebody says, well, what if you just purchased a new game for $0 and that game just had tons of assets in it? And what if you had some kind of script that would just, allow Fallout to use assets from another game that also just happens to be on the PlayStation?
Right.
And that is
again,
very clever. I love it.
So and I do want to, have the caveat that this information that we are sharing may not be 100% accurate because I do not have the reference material in front of me. It got removed. So I'm going off of memory from like 2 weeks ago. When you first brought it up, OMF, and then I remember that. Yeah.
But you guys want to know something? After everything that has happened with PlayStation over the years, I am so glad that I swapped over to Xbox and then to PC. But I swapped over to Xbox and then I went to One. And then I saw that the consoles were going to keep changing and your games would be null and void. And I was like, you know what? PC is the way to go. I'm done.
For our next section, was going to move on to our mod spotlight for the week. Old Man Fallout actually had 3 that he wanted to talk about. Boon Island, Misery Island, which are kind of together, right?
Right. Yep.
They're 2 separate mods, aren't they?
They are.
Well, they're separate mods by the same author. You want to tell us a little bit about them?
They're by a mod author named Shredda4, and he's actually done a bunch. He's done a bunch of different islands. He's done a bunch of different mods. I think he's got 10 or 11 or 12 to his name right now that are up available on Nexus. I've done a bunch of his island mods, and Boon Island was very small, and it has a very kind of sad and compelling story. And I live streamed it probably like before this VATS cast, probably like a week before we filmed this VATS cast. I live streamed it, and I was really pleased with Boon Island. It's very short. You can do it in 2 hours. And if you really want to get everything, because it's an island with, the surrounding watery areas around it, you can go down and find like shipwrecks and stuff. So if you really try to explore everything and find everything, you could spend 5 hours in it. And then when you get Boon Island, it's also a settlement. So you could technically then build Boon Island up like crazy.
Okay.
One of the things that was very interesting about Boon Island, his sort of early attempt at the island, was instead of letting you scrap all the buildings and get a flat level area and then build up your own buildings, he did this interesting new thing that he did where he allows you to rebuild the building back to its original form.
Nice.
I watched you doing that on Misery Island. It looked really awesome.
Yeah, it's really fun. So you get the buildings back to their pristine original state, and then you can fill them up with gear and whatever you want to do with them. And it's a very interesting way to do it, and I really liked it. But then we moved on to Misery Island on my live streams, and this thing is huge. It's not as big as Far Harbor, but it's maybe a third of the size of Far Harbor, a half of the size of Far Harbor, which is still really significant. Like, he put effort into this island. And we were running across the island. It took a while to get from one side to the other. We found there's multiple settlements on the island that you can get. There are multiple quest lines on the island. There are a number of NPCs now, and he's just expanded the thing out a lot. It's really nice. It's also extremely well done. Like, as we were moving through the island, I think
it looks really cool.
Probably, that's the thing. I stopped probably 2 or 3 times, and I was like, guys, this looks like official content. Like, this just looks extremely well done.
Yeah, kind of like some settlements too. It looks like it's just
built. It's built for the game.
It was integrated very well.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a separate zone, like how Far Harbor is, but like
you get your own map.
It was integrated into like the overall game very nicely. Like, it didn't look out of place.
I'm glad I didn't watch very much of it, Old Man Fallout, because I did watch. I saw where you went into the building and you were like, I wonder if this is like Boon Island, and you started building up the building. I was like, wow.
Yeah,
and you
start being able to rebuild everything in the settlements.
And I was like, wow. Yeah.
The way, for anybody who's not familiar with what this guy is doing with these islands, he doesn't want to mess with the main Fallout map. So what he does is he puts transportation onto the maps. For Boon Island, he puts a boat near the Nakano residence. It's just like another boat near the Nakanos. And for Misery Island, he puts a plane, a seaplane, down near the airport.
Okay.
And so you find them just sitting along the shoreline, and they just look like part of the game. You're like, what do these do? And when you approach them, they say, would you like to take this to the next location? Yeah. And so you can get to Boon Island from the boat. You can get to Misery Island from this plane. And
there's a full-on quest line in there and everything.
Full quest lines, new maps, everything. It doesn't take over Fallout 4 and like transform it the way that like Fallout 1
it's
did.
It's like a DLC, like Far Harbor.
Yeah, it's a DLC like Far Harbor where you're just getting little extra areas. Again, Boon Island's very small. It's like 2 hours. And then Misery Island is maybe 8 hours.
Okay.
Something like that. But I live streamed Misery Island for I think probably 8, 9, or 10 hours so far, and I'm not done with it. One of the things that we haven't done yet is we didn't jump into the water around the island and just swim through all the shipwrecks and find all the loot and all the other cool stuff that's there. So,
and there's different weapons and armor too, right?
Yes. Oh, it was one of the really neat things he did. This was one of the things that's new. It didn't happen in Boon Island very much, but it's a new thing that he's doing for Misery. Is he has started to create new Nuka-Colas. He has a Nuka-Cola like float in the game that gives you powers.
Yeah.
He started to do all new artwork so that as you move through the locations, you see tons of new posters and other stuff that is completely unique to the island. It's not in any base game that we've played through before. So you get tons of new artwork. There's new T-shirts in the game that the settlers will wear, and so it's just really interesting to see. Like when he decided he was going to make a separate island that was going to have its own story to it and its own theme to it, he was not kidding, and I really love it.
So
and
he totally redid.
Yeah,
did his own thing on the island.
And I told him in the comments on his mod, I said, I'm really loving it, but I did get stuck in these places. And he actually came back and he replied to the stuff and told me all the stuff I needed to do. And so he and I went back and forth for a little bit, and he was telling me all these like solutions for everything that I was doing wrong. It was great. It was great.
Nice. That's awesome.
Well, now I like that when a mod author sticks with their work and replies to you, because sometimes it gets annoying when you do get stuck in a place.
They abandon it. Yeah. Now, he's planning on doing like a whole island chain, right? Eventually.
I don't know how big it's going to get, but I know that what he has said in the past was he's learning. He's learning a lot. He started with little tiny baby islands, and now he's getting it like it's starting to get big.
Gotcha.
And so he's getting his sea legs.
Yeah, he's getting his sea legs, and I don't know how big he's going. I don't know if this was like his swan song. He's like, I'm done, or if he's just getting started. Okay. But I know that what he's got going on right now is like everything you see in Boon Island feels small, and then you go to Misery Island, and you're like, oh, this is where he was going with it. This is what he wanted to do.
Nice. So and we'll have these linked on the next.
Maybe the next one will be even bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully, especially because the story. Because I watched a few hours, and just watching you go through the quest, like they were good. They were solidly written. Like
I purposely didn't watch because I want to play it.
Yeah.
So I wanted it more to be a surprise of what I get when I do play it.
And then the last mod you've got highlighted for the spotlight this week or this episode is linked cloud storage.
Right. And this is a very interesting mod. So most players who've done Fallout 4 know that your workbenches, the red workbenches in Fallout 4 are connected, but they're connected only for food, water, and scrap. And if you, for example, are thinking that you're going to go to the Red Rocket and open your workbench and you are going to see the guns that you put into the workbench in Sanctuary, you won't. The guns aren't shared. The ammo's not shared. The armor isn't shared.
Not shared. Yeah.
And so what this does, this linked cloud storage, is it gives you a number of boxes that you can put in your settlement, storage trunks. And anytime you put the same storage trunk into a settlement, it mirrors whatever's in the other settlements. So
I like that.
Yeah,
it's like SSK's Universal Stash.
It's like the Universal Stash. And what's really nice is he's got like 20 different boxes. Some of them aren't even boxes. Some of them are like shelving systems or other things like that.
I think one's even like a Vault-Tec locker.
Exactly. And so if you pick the one you think looks good in your settlement, and then you can reproduce that in all your different settlements. And so long as you put down the same one, the same gear will be inside it at every settlement.
Yeah.
And you can, what's nice about that is if you wanted, say, one box that had all the guns, one box that had all the armor, one box that has all of something else, you could put down 3 different boxes in one settlement, go to the next settlement, put down those same 3 boxes, go to the next settlement, put down the same 3 boxes. And then whenever you open them up, you've got all that stuff organized and it shares
and it's all
linked.
The
settlement.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go to your other settlement if you want to pick up your legendary weapon you left over at the
or drop one off and they're secure, right? Because these are these they're linked, but they're not shared with the
Settlers.
Right. And then they're not shared with the settlers. They can't access them as far as I can tell. And the other thing that was really nice for me was anybody who's watched my live streams know I hoard everything. I pick up everything. I bring it back to the settlements, including all the gear off of the raiders and everybody else.
Well, yeah. How else are you going to get scrap?
Right.
Yeah, I don't do
I pick up
that.
everything. And the problem with it is that when you start dumping it into your settlements, there's a point where you have so much gear everywhere that the game just gets a little bit laggy, janky,
Wonky,
awful
yeah.
something.
It gets all chonky.
And yeah, and especially if you've got 2 or 3 settlements that are nearby, and the game has to load in, say, 3 different settlements, like
the old
when you're on the
triangle of
bridge in
death.
Sanctuary, the triangle of death. If you
excuse
have,
me. While you're mentioning the triangle of death, I heard that the updates have actually fixed the triangle of death.
That's amazing. That's a very good
Wow.
reason to use the updates then.
I
Yeah.
did hear that one of the recent updates fixed the triangle of death.
Wow, that would be
which
insane.
I didn't think they'd ever fix.
So
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
no, it's great. It's good to know that,
It's a
actually.
good tangent.
Yes, but
Yeah.
but the point is that if you are experiencing something like the triangle of death, or just 2 settlements near each other, and they're fully loaded with all sorts of settlement objects, and you've filled the storage with everything you can possibly fill with, there's a point where the game is loading so much data in, it's just becoming a problem. And so what I found with having linked storage is I put everything into one box. And then it's not like some gear is like in one settlement and some gear's in another, and I lose track of it and I just let it pile up. Instead,
Yeah.
it's all in one spot, no matter where I go. And then I try to limit myself down. You know what I mean? I winnow that box down to just being what I need every now and then.
Yeah.
And it seems to really help. The game it's not having the problems I had with my last character.
Nice.
You know, my last character, I think I quit the live stream at only level something like, I think 70, because the game was unplayable. And with this new character, I'm at like 110 and I'm fine and we're still going. So it's working.
Yeah. Nice. All right.
Yeah.
And Granny, you have a few mods to highlight this week.
I do.
We have Railroad Redone, Railroad Redone Improved. Those are the first 2. You want to tell a little bit about those?
Okay, well, it completely redoes the inside of the railroad base.
Neat.
Yeah,
Nice.
you need to have one mod. You need to have the other one. I forget which one. I think it's when you get improved, you have to have
The older version.
redone.
Yeah.
Anyway, you need both mods, but it adds. It makes the railroad look like a proper faction.
Nice.
It doesn't look like they're freaking hiding out in a hole in the ground. With
Yeah, they're not
nothing
living in their
really.
mom's basement.
Yeah, exactly. It just makes it look like a headquarters, an HQ actually should look.
Right.
That's awesome.
So
And then-
both those mods improve it.
Nice. And then you also did Institute Technology Overhaul.
Well, my next one is Kite's Handmaiden.
Oh, I'm sorry.
outfit.
Kite's Handmaiden. Yep.
It's the railroad handmaiden outfit. It puts clothing on all the railroad characters that makes them look
It's very like detective noir. I will.
nice. Yeah, more like a detective
Yeah.
kind of thing, but it gives them proper clothing rather than having these, same armors and stuff that all these other factions have. And face it, look at the real game. It looks like the railroad is part of the scavengers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
It's. I've actually got it. Let me see if I can get it up on screen.
I just pulled up the Railroad Redone and looked at all the photos and artwork for it. You're right. It looks great. It's amazing.
It makes it look amazing. And there's another mod you can get that belongs
that right
to
there.
Eleonora. She did
version,
a
yep.
player home. So you
Like,
can
those
also
look
add
nice.
a player home in the headquarters. Yeah, look at the
Really
outfits.
cool.
They are
That's a
sharp.
little naughty.
Well, I mean, you could go.
No, I know.
go
I'm
with
just like.
But I mean, check it out. They had got some really
Yeah.
nice clothing.
That looks really nice.
You should pull up the pictures from the railroad redone and show viewers that as well.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Too.
That's just awesome.
Let me
It
get
looks
that.
like what they did. Tell me if I'm wrong, GrannyVats, but it looks like what they did is they kept the layout of the railroad. They left the building the way it is, but then they just redecorated to make it make more sense.
Oh no.
Right. That's what they did. They kept the building.
Oh, I know why I didn't do this.
So
okay. Yeah.
So the building, the layout of it is the same, but if you get Eleonora's player home, it will add a player
Look
home
at that.
as you
Yeah, that
in.
looks gorgeous.
Look at that. Look
It
at all those
is.
weapons. It just makes sense now.
Yeah.
It makes
They're
it
just
look like
stashing gear.
Railroad HQ.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
unfortunately.
I mean, it really makes a lot of sense to, to have that if you're going to do a railroad playthrough. And with that, I want to add the fact that glowing railroad signs. It's at the bottom, Timmy.
Oh yeah, no, in the next one, I'll pull it up.
Glowing railroad signs. Okay, now you guys also know that the railroad, it's stupid how their signs can be seen by anybody.
Yeah.
Everybody can see a secret organization. Well, if you're playing with the glowing signs, if you're not wearing the special glasses, you will not see the signs.
Oh, that's so cool.
So it makes it like it makes it out of invisible ink.
Exactly.
It's working like the cappy is from Nuka World.
Exactly. Awesome. Cappy glasses work with it.
Yeah.
That's so great.
But I mean, it never made sense to me that, you're playing as the railroad, but everybody can see their signs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it would make sense that everybody could see the signs if the signs were very obscure. But when their signs are literally things like arrows pointing
obvious,
like it's so obvious,
pointing you 3 feet away, like
definitely
intro quest. It's like
so, like when you're doing Deacon's Quest, in the very beginning, you're doing that first quest.
We're on an overpass that's only one way.
Those signs are all pointing. You go this way, go this way.
Yeah.
Well, you can't see those signs without your special glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
And it does. It does. And there's also, I couldn't find the mod, but there's also a railroad agent for fast travel that, for role play, that you can get a railroad agent. And that railroad agent, I couldn't find the mod. I tried. That railroad agent will actually take you to places you haven't been to. Okay, well, the next mod that I'm going to talk about is the Institute of Technology Overhaul Weapons.
Yeah, so the ITO
gives you a bunch of new weapons, and you can craft them, and it gives you another workbench. But you have to have the mod munitions with that.
Okay.
To work.
Oh my God, that looks like this one up here is like a Star Trek phaser, the one in the upper left corner.
Yeah,
I love the really guns. Cool.
Yeah,
the guns are. I used them in my last playthrough. They're lightweight.
Looks great.
I like the plasma cutter. Looks kind of good. Nice.
Actually, there's one that
somebody
talk
about the cutter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they got a cutter.
That's a plasma cutter right there.
Yeah.
And they also got like a rocket launcher that only weighs like 4 pounds.
Dang.
Yeah, that looks like an auto grenade launcher. There, that's the rocket launcher.
Yeah, you can launch grenades, rockets, and it only weighs like 4 or 5 pounds.
Yeah,
survival run people would
these are
love
nice
it.
models.
Oh yeah, they are definitely great for survival run because they're lightweight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whoever did this, these actually look like they belong in the game. That's
they did a really good job. I like the laser pistol. That's nice.
I'm gonna check it out real quick. It was done by where is it? I've got it pulled up.
Mika.
I can't see.
Mika or Micah? Micah Love.
Yeah, Micah Love.
Okay.
Right here. This person.
And then you got the munitions one, the ammo expansion pack.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you different ammo.
Oh, that's the wrong one.
Yeah, it doesn't have it. It just requires Far Harbor, Nuka World. I
So
didn't have any problems with it as far as I knew, but it also gives you a new weapons bench for the Institute.
Nice.
But you have to collect the magazines to be able to craft the stuff.
That's cool.
Well, that's nice. I mean, because I like being able to, like, that's one of the, like, that's nice that if, you know, they don't, they either don't just give it to you, or B, they make it to where, like, you can know where to go to get it. You know, it's not like a random spawn or something.
Oh, no, no. See, you've got books for the Railroad, you've got books for the Brotherhood of Steel, and you got books for the Institute.
Okay.
Each of them have different, like 4 or 5 different books you collect.
And then different ammo.
Different things.
And then the last one you had was Creative Clutter, actually, which.
Yes, I couldn't find that.
I've got it right here.
I was trying. I did that when I first woke up this morning.
Yeah, there's not a lot of.
Well, no, that's just animated rocking chairs, but it's the Creative Clutter that.
Oh, the full Creative. Let me look it up real quick.
Yeah, I don't.
I thought I found it.
I think I had gotten mine off of Bethesda because I don't think they had.
Oh, well, it usually helps if you spell creative correctly.
Yeah. I don't know. Actually, I find things better when I misspell them.
Yeah.
Especially in Bethesda.
That's the only one I find. There's Creative Clutter Base Object Swapper, but it's just a plugin for Script Extender.
No.
Well,
no, I found it on Bethesda.
Okay. It might be that it's only on Bethesda.
A lot of people don't, from the Bethesda mods.
Yeah. People don't like to put them on Nexus sometimes.
Yeah, I think that one I had to pull off of Bethesda.
Yeah.
I didn't want to, but I like the mod because it adds tons of decorated.
It's kind of like that Wasteland, the Wasteland imports.
Yeah, kind of. And it adds, just little touches for decorations.
Yeah. Well, that adds a lot of workshop items too that we talked about a couple weeks back.
Well, there was one I didn't put up, but I actually like it's a log cabin mod, and it makes log cabins. I did a nice log cabin. I did a nice log cabin at Far Harbor at Longfellow's place.
That's awesome.
I put a beer barrel and a wine barrel, and I set Longfellow.
He's an old drunk.
Oh yeah, and I gave him a fireplace. I mean, he was set up when I left.
He's never going to complain about running out of whiskey again.
No.
Oh no. He's got plenty.
Good.
So I actually have 2 creations I was going to talk about too, real quick.
Okay.
Go for it.
I didn't mean to cut you off. You can finish. I'm sorry.
No, I'm done. I was just saying how I really just like to decorate things, and I always felt like Longfellow was retiring there, and that the cabin he had was just too crappy to live in, so I built him a new one.
I love Longfellow. He's half the reason why I side with Far Harbor all the time anyway, despite the fact that the Far Harbor perk sucks.
Yeah,
the survivalist perk.
Yeah, I like Longfellow, and
Yeah, he's a nice guy. So we're all familiar with America Rising.
Heather? No.
Well, America Rising 2.
Yes.
The Enclave. So there's this new creations that's come out called Daniel the Remnant, and he has like a full affinity. He's one of the remnants from the Enclave, but in the description it talks about how he'll comment on all the main quest lines, and he's created by the same Otello who made America Rising and America Rising 2. And this is his first creation. So I actually purchased it. I haven't unlocked him yet, but you run into him out on the roof of the Museum of Freedom, where you do the Freedom Rings quest for Preston.
Okay, so when you come out, he's going to be up there.
He'll be up there, right? And he asks you to do a little quest for him, and that's how you unlock him as a companion. And he has like a full affinity system and everything.
Nice.
And
Sounds cool.
And plus, I liked America Rising 2 so much that I just wanted to throw a little money at Otello as a thank you, because I love America Rising 2. It's a really good story.
He did a great job with it.
Yeah. Well, and he added a little bit of nuance to what otherwise were like cartoonish villains, mustache twirling cartoonish villains.
Yeah.
Then the other one that I wanted to talk about, this is a free one that's made by Bethesda Studios. It's called Tale of the Beast Hunter. So they released this quest. It's a dungeon quest. You start it by getting a Morse code signal that sends you to the Nahat Police Department, and you run through this quest line with this guy who was a former NCR Ranger that left, and I won't ruin it, but you get this cool set of armor, you get this cool gun. And this one is totally free, and it was produced by Bethesda. It's a fun little dungeon. I watched Oxhorn do a full playthrough. It took him about an hour. It's got some nice lore. In fact,
Those
there's
look
even
nice.
a tie.
I like those guns.
Yeah, there's even a tie-in where the guy's friend is actually featured on the Boulder City Memorial in New Vegas. Like, you can actually load up New Vegas and go to the Boulder City Memorial where the first Battle of Hoover Dam ended, and his friend's name is actually on the memorial. They basically, what they did was they chose a named character that wasn't in New Vegas and extracted that as part of this mod, as part of this creation.
Very cool.
And it was a lot of fun. Like, these weapons look awesome. The armor looks good. You got like this death claw kind of shielding, and it's like modeled off of the NCR, off the NCR Ranger. Yeah. So I'm kind of excited to do the quest. Those were the two main ones that I wanted. Oh, God damn it. Those were the two main ones that I wanted to talk about, just to kind of highlight that there is some nice stuff happening on the creations menu, especially now that they made the switch over. I know that it's a lot of disappointment, but I'm glad to be able to finally, pay Otello for his work. When King Gath finally releases his Fallout 4 creations that he's been working on, the new ones that he's working for the Creations Club. I'm excited to see what he's doing for that, because I really did enjoy Watchtower, and I liked McLaren Outfitters in Starfield, which were the two big ones he did there. But he's so good. He's one of the only people that I would consider actually paying money for. I've paid for 0 creations. I do like GrannyVats, where I watch the store, and whenever they release something for free, I grab it. Yeah.
And because of that, I've ended up with a lot of the content for free over the years.
Yeah.
But for King Gath, I'd probably
me
just
too.
buy his stuff by default.
Exactly.
Really good.
Well, what I plan on doing is, because I own Fallout 4 on Steam and I own it on GOG, when I reinstall my Fallout 4 on Steam, I'm going to let it just go to next gen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I did. I have the
and I'll just keep the copy I've got on GOG before next gen.
As is. So that was bringing us to our next topic. Was, for those of you tired of Bethesda's shenanigans.
Exactly.
I posted in our doc, and these are going to be referenced in the show notes. A few games that are really good RPGs, or looter shooters that have been produced from over the years that are, there's some alternatives to direct Bethesda shenanigans if you are getting a little fed up. So the first one, actually, GrannyVats has started playing recently on her streams. It's called Dishonored. There's three parts to it, you said?
Yes, there are 3.
You want to share a little bit about Dishonored?
Dishonored is it's occult magic base. It's got a kind of a dark story, but you're able to like play it your way. You can ghost. Right now, I'm doing a ghost no kill, and that's probably your hardest because you go through the whole game and not be seen or not kill anyone.
Right.
And then you got the high chaos where you can go through and just kill everything. But your decisions matter.
Yeah.
At the end of the game, if you've made some poor decisions, your game's going to reflect it.
Okay.
That's the same with all three of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Dishonored itself right now is on sale on Steam for like $3. I don't know if that, I don't know if that sale will still be active by the time we post. Oh, that sale ends on the 2nd of December, so it's a few days away. We might have this posted by then. But again, it's one of those.
Even off sale, it's not that expensive.
Even full price is only $10. But that's the thing, is like, I mean, that's not a super expensive game to, you know, I mean, if you just want something different,
and you can get
Bethesda.
Hours and hours because you can't just do one playthrough.
Right, exactly.
Because you're going to want to do high chaos, low chaos, ghost. You're going to want to get a ton of achievements.
Murder hobo. I love me some murder hobo.
You cannot get in one playthrough.
Right. Yeah.
And there's also another game I just found out about called Dark Messiah. And that was also made by Arcane.
Messiah. Let's see if I can.
And I haven't played it yet, but it's very similar to the Dishonored series. There are so many.
Oh yeah, Dark Messiah is actually part of. They have a Arcane bundle on Steam right now, which is like $50. But that includes Prey also. Was made by Arcane.
Oh yeah, there's 2 Preys that were made by Arcane. These are all great alternatives to paying money for games that are broken. Stop buying broken games. You know? Let these game companies know that we don't want their broken stuff. Buy some of the older stuff. You can have plenty of entertainment, and then the game companies are going to go, wow, we're not selling any new games. Maybe we need to look at what we're doing.
Right. Well, speaking of a redemption arc, one of the other games that to consider if you're tired of Bethesda shenanigans, actually, Old Man Fallout's been playing quite a bit on and off on his streams, is Cyberpunk 2077, because that game launched to a hot mess, and that company has worked tirelessly to turn it around, up to and including releasing a Mac version now that is fully updated with the Windows version. You want to tell us a little bit about Cyberpunk for anybody who actually hasn't gone through the game?
Probably everybody who's watching this episode knows it better than I do. I was playing Cyberpunk, and one of my viewers says, "This is what happens when a boomer plays Cyberpunk." So I'm not good at it.
I haven't played it yet.
But I mean, it's if you're a Fallout fan and you want some more sci-fi-ish shooting role play, that's close to what you're getting with Cyberpunk. It does do a lot of things differently. In fact, one of our fellow streamers who was in my stream at one point commented, it's Mortar Mike, who streams on Twitch as well. He was in my chat and he said, you know, it's really funny to look at what Bethesda thinks of as a big city, which has 8 people in it, and then you go into Cyberpunk, and their big city is 80,000. You know, like just like hundreds of NPCs in any given scene.
Well, and the scripting to be able to handle it.
Yeah, it depends on the loadout of your computer. That'll dictate how much it can show. But these cities are huge and sprawling and massive. Cyberpunk is a gigantic, ginormous game. I've also just started a test run of The Outer Worlds 2.
That was the next one on the list?
Is it on the list? That's awesome. The Outer Worlds 2, I got that. I did a test run off stream. Nobody's seen me play it yet, but I just wanted to see if this is a game that I could love and I could enjoy playing. And I got to say that so far It's amazing.
Yeah.
I've heard some people talking about it saying, no, this is a AA game, not a AAA game. And no, the writing's not as good as it could be, or it's not as compelling as other bigger games. And
you know what?
But for me, I love it. This is the kind of thing I love. It feels a lot like
It's
what
quirky.
you get from. It's quirky. It feels a lot like what you get from something like Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 3, Baldur's Gate 3, in terms of you're getting like more dialogue options, you have more choices, there's a lot more things you can do, and they're doing all the things that we ask somebody like Bethesda to do. For example, they're incorporating skill checks into the dialogue.
You can't make a perfect character.
You can't make a perfect character, but also when you're doing things like skill checks, when you're doing dialogue, you could have things like, your strength affects a dialogue choice, which is a weird thing. You say, why would that happen? But they found ways to incorporate all sorts of skills and abilities into the dialogue so that you really feel like your character build is starting to influence things a lot. And it's been really fun to experiment with.
I haven't played it yet, but I have, watched quite a bit, and it's on my list of like things to get. I like to wait till they go on sale a little before I. Yeah.
By the way, I will say I did get mine on sale, but I think the sale will be over by the time this comes out.
I guess
for our viewers
right now.
Microsoft
on Steam, it's still listed as full price.
Yeah.
Right now.
So Microsoft sells it on their Xbox system, which you can get for PC. Microsoft sells it on their Xbox system right now for $54.
All right, but it's $69 on Steam.
$69 on Steam, $54 on Microsoft Xbox, but it doesn't matter that you can get it for a discount on Xbox, because by the time this VATS CAST comes out, it'll be gone. The sale will be gone.
Yeah.
But you can look for the next one,
All right,
well, what I was going to say real quick is, before I forget, is that system that you were just discussing about the dialogue and the speech checks.
Yeah.
That Fallout London has actually done that. Your speech checks are strength, agility, endurance.
Granny, guess what? Guess what was next on the list?
Fallout London.
One-click edition.
Okay, well, hold on one sec. Because I was going to say about the Dishonored series is it's not Fallout, but it is Plague. So it is ruins, it's not you're gonna find it's like you have to get through ruins and stuff.
I was mostly laughing that you brought up Fallout London, even though it was going to be next on the list.
Well, you know what, I am psychic, right?
Is it psychic or psycho?
Both.
So I actually
got the hair for it.
Yeah. Well, so again, back to our conversation about GOG. There is a one-click edition version of Fallout London that all you do is you buy the Game of the Year on GOG for Fallout 4, and you have a one-click install for Fallout London, where it will do the whole conversion process for you through GOG's built-in manager, and it will convert it to London.
Makes it easy.
Yeah. Well, and again, like you get the offline install file, so they can't take it away from you. You don't have to worry about updates, borking everything.
That's right. You don't have to worry about complaining that it broke because Bethesda updated.
And while it is a Bethesda game, there is a link to purchase through GOG the version that they have, the Game of the Year edition in GOG, that will give I think it's a 15% cut so it's about $2 to the Fallout team Fallout, who created Fallout London, and they did a fantastic job. So that is again a smaller way to support No,
but that's great. They deserve it.
And then the last one is actually another game that I've played on my Mac. It's an older game. It's called Metro Exodus.
I've got it, but I haven't played it yet.
So it's a post-apocalyptic kind of sci-fi based. It takes place in Moscow. The premise is that when the atomic war happened, everybody in Moscow went into the tram system, and because they were built as fallout shelters. And then 20 years have kind of gone by, and everybody's still in the fallout shelters. And you kind of play one of the characters on like the elite special forces for the good faction in the game, and you go through this whole storyline of basically like figuring out if there's other people outside of London. And there's a bunch of other things, but it was a really good, it was good. The writing was nice. It's a little more of a looter shooter versus like a hardcore classic RPG. I mean, there still are like some skill-based things that need to happen, and there are survival mechanics and stuff and upgrades for weapons and things, but it's definitely a little more on the shootery side, like versus some of the other ones that we've listed. But you know what, those are good too. But it's got a nice, compelling story, and it's a great world to get into. And I don't know, I enjoyed it when I played it, but it's also available on Mac and PC. And it's not very expensive.
I've actually got all 3 games.
Yeah, I do too. I bought the whole. I haven't played them all. I've only played Metro Exodus. But yeah, I don't know. It was a good one.
So that's one thing we were trying to say here too, is that there are so many older games out there that a lot of people don't even know about that are cheaper than buying the doggone expensive games that they're broken.
And the other thing about older games is they're not as hardware demanding as newer games. So you don't have to go out, you don't have to own a 5090 32 gigabyte TI that costs $1,200. You can run Metro Exodus on an NVIDIA 6030 that's a 15-year-old graphics card.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On a
all
Sandy
these games
Bridge,
are not taxing on the PC.
A Sandy Bridge processor from 2011, just because. But anyway.
Oh, man, you ought to see the way Dishonored runs on my PC. I got a pretty decent PC. It's only 2 years old.
Yeah, no, you got a good one.
Dishonored runs like, it looks like a movie.
Yep. And then the last thing on our docket is, Granny, I heard you started a book club in your Discord.
I did. Well, it got started because I brought up that there is this really good sci-fi fantasy author called Piers Anthony. He's 90-something years old now.
Yeah.
But he wrote a series. Well, he's written lots of series, but he wrote a series called Xanth. And he's taken the state of Florida and turned it into a magical land called Xanth. There are 48 books in this series.
Okay, that's a lot of books.
Right now, we're reading the first one, A Spell for Chameleon. And once a week, we gather in my Discord in Granny's reading room, and Dobby reads to us.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Cool.
So yeah, if you wanna check that out, join Granny's Discord, join Old Man Fallout's Discord. He's got all kinds of stuff going on too.
Not a reading club though.
No, not a reading club, but
Well, I started the bookshelf, and then I've got the reading room.
There you go. Cool.
If you want to come play 76 with me and some friends, I am more than happy to help you out, run you through raids, stuff like that. I did
reinstall mine.
I'm trying. We're slowly getting you to come over to the dark side.
Yeah, well, I'm slowly getting there, but I was dealing with all that other stuff. And
I know.
I'm still dealing with stuff, but I'm you know what? I'm surviving. I'm tough. I'm a tough old bird.
At least we eliminated the worst possibilities at this point.
Yes, I don't have cancer, thank God.
I'm sorry. I was so worried because I work in.
Yeah, I got my biopsy back the other day, and it
came back clean.
Yeah, they said, "See you in 5 years."
Good.
Congratulations! That is awesome.
The way you were telling me,
but they didn't find the problem though.
Less awesome.
Well, sometimes things can be diagnosed by omission instead of by eliminating things off of a list. You can be like, these are what's left, and we can treat these, to help. But we
were all kind of holding our breaths when I went in because it could have been bad, but
especially because of those farts from the bowel prep.
Oh God. You know what? I'm gonna tell
This
you what.
part
I'm
shouldn't
gonna
make
say
it in.
this.
Oh, it's gonna make it in.
This.
Oh my
I'm gonna
God.
say this. That prep stuff was so bad. I texted Timmy because
She
Timmy
did.
works at a hospital, and I'm like, Timmy, my butt is on fire. What can I use to cool it down?
And I told her, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? I said, Granny, you're supposed to pat, don't wipe. Like, give it a little.
That's okay, because somebody else told me to get some the Desitin would do the job. And I said, if there's any Desitin around my house, it's expired or dried out. That kind of went the way of the Jimmy hat in my house.
Yeah. OMF, you got anything you're working on off screen?
We kind of already touched on it. I'm gonna start live streaming Outer Worlds 2. I probably have 1 or 2 more live streams of Fallout 4 that I want to do just to wrap up Misery Island.
Yeah.
We also got into the Glowing Sea, so I want to do a little bit in there. So we'll do a little Glowing Sea, Misery Island. Then for the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going to be doing Outer Worlds 2
I'm excited
as my live
to see
stream of choice. And then, yeah, I'm excited to play it. And then probably when the TV show launches 2, 3, 4 weeks from now, we'll go back into Fallout 4 and we'll do a lot more with it. So I'm kind of excited. This is going to be a nice month. December is going to be a great month, I think, for Fallout fans, for live streaming, for just having a lot of good stuff to do. And I'm really looking forward to it.
And I'm really looking forward to getting a couple of people to come and talk on our cast.
Yeah.
I just have to work it out.
We're hoping.
Yeah, get them.
We don't want to spoil it too soon.
No, because I don't know I can get it, but I'll try.
I'll spoil one for us, though. I've been talking about getting Grilled Koala, who's another streamer, to come on to the VATS cast. I would love to have her on. She's really fun to talk to, but she is very happy to show off her home, which is her whole home is completely made over for Fallout 4.
Oh,
she has so many little collectibles and stuff, and it'd just be great. I just want to get her photos on our VATS cast. It's just so. Awesome.
I'm excited to have her on. So we'll probably.
I don't have any collectibles yet.
I don't either.
I got some on my wish list.
I have a quilt and some magic art from Magic the Gathering. But
most of my living room is Japanese. Yeah.
So, well, thanks again for joining me. It's a pleasure as always.
Yes, we had fun. I did.
We always have fun.
Yeah, it was great.
And despite my Starfield rant for a half hour off camera,
cutting room floor. No.
Yeah, that definitely made the cutting room floor. But it was great to talk to you guys. We will be doing this again.
And Granny made her debut.
She made it out the dungeon. She's still here.
And then I made a camera debut, so you know.
Oh yeah, the camera week sent you. And everything we've talked about will be featured in the doc in the description. So if you need to reference anything, it'll be there. I do not know why YouTube will not let me finish the verification process to be able to post external links, but I'm working on it. I've submitted several times. I'm doing my part. That's all I can do.
There you go.
Thanks again for joining me, and everybody have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.